Hello, welcome to another video here. Feeling in a kind of a not particularly great mood. I need to get a haircut, but I'm too lazy. This particular topic is, let me look at. Oh, okay. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but on the paper it's written down my thoughts on not being liked slash understood is the topic. My thoughts on not being liked or understood. Obviously, this is something I've kind of experienced my whole life because I've been who I am now. I've been I've been me my whole life. Go figure. Imagine that. Um, I don't know. Maybe it was third or fourth grade or fifth grade or something when I started to realize that I was different. And I've said it before in videos, I think, where when I was younger, I thought I knew I knew I was different, but I thought I was the lesser of there were like what I now refer to as the average people, or yeah, I mean like average people or the majority. They all seem to mesh and get along and all this, like this and that, effortlessly. And when I was a kid and first realized that I was different, I thought I was less than them. Like, well, obviously, if I don't mesh with everyone else, I must be the underdog. I must be the person who is not as good, for whatever reason, as they are. And I had that mentality for quite a while until, like, I don't know, right at the end of high school, I started hanging out with this kind of jock-ish idiot who, since I was like smart, they put me in. If you don't do if you don't do the schoolwork, they put you in a special ed class. So what I found looking back is, like, it's the idiots and the smart, the people who are below average, personalities, and the people who are below average and above average smarts are the ones that are stuck in special ed class, and then the ones that are just average sheep, kind of that play the game are the ones that are obviously the ones that play the game are the average people who are conditioned by the schools, especially now more so, to just be a human capital whatever. I'm having a really hard time talking in this video. I don't know why. That's not normally how I'm not in a particularly great mood. So what the fuck is this topic? Oh yeah. So it wasn't until I was like right at the 18, 19, hanging out with this guy, and I saw a little bit more of the inner circle or the inner workings of how these kind of people, and he was like an average person, but yet he didn't have his dad in his life, and he had home issues and stuff that probably contributed to the fact that he ended up in special ed. But at his core, he was like one of these average people, whatever. And I hung out with him for a while because we were both a couple of misfits, kind of social misfits. Me more so. I mean, he wanted to fit in. He wanted to be accepted or whatever. Not that I don't, but I mean, I don't need to be validated by the average majority or whatever. I mean, I just want like to know someone, like a friend or two. I just want a friend or two. I don't need to be accepted by the collective, like the whole collective. I mean, to me, that if you're accepted by the collective, that's just a bad sign. That means you're just an idiot, in my opinion. I don't need to be, accepted by the collective, nor do I want to be. I just want a friend or two, So long story short, when I was a kid for many, many years, I thought I was less than everyone else. And then when I hung around with this guy, when I was getting close to my late teens and early 20s and stuff, I realized, oh, this guy was such an idiot, and the things he did, like, going to clubs and bars and shit like all the people did when you're that age. And I went a couple times, and of course, because of the atmosphere and there's just nothing, in my opinion, that about a loud club slash bar situation that's any respectable person with any kind of brain. There's no good reason to be in that environment, and every time there was like some kind of, I remember one instance where there was some fight, and I kind of, obviously I don't really want to get pummeled or anything. I mean, I don't want to get physically more, maimed than I already am, and I mean, who does? I kind of, hastily got out of the way or went outside or something, and I remember this fucking asshole remarked later on, "Oh, you ran from the fight," like, like, what the fuck, and it's just like, look at this guy I'm hanging out with, listen to his mentality, like, he's so fucking Neanderthal minded that he's gonna criticize me or make fun of me, or because I, wanted to avoid getting pummeled or in the, this is the kind of people that the whole fucking, the majority of people, this is what they're like, and I can't fucking stand it. Long story short, I got all off on a fucking sidetrack and shit. In my opinion, over the years, I've come to the opinion that I'm actually not less than the average majority, but smarter and better. I'm not saying in a Nazi, blonde-haired, blue-eyed fucking, Hitler sense of like, anything like that. I'm just saying that I don't think a person, if someone's smarter or when I say better, I don't know, maybe you can scratch the word better, but I just think that I shouldn't feel guilty, because there tends to be, every time I say it out loud on a video that's going to be uploaded for the world to see, I feel like a narcissistic son of a, I just feel like I should feel guilty saying I think I'm smarter than the average person. But I think if you are smarter than the average person, of course this is my opinion, I don't know, I guess I feel like when I say it, I just feel like a narcissistic asshole. But if it's true, I shouldn't feel anyway. I can't help if I'm smarter than the average person. But this video got off on a fucking, I don't know. This might not, fuck. As a result of being different, whether I'm less or more, less than people or better than people, average people, whatever, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, whether you're, beneath them or above them, you're not going to be accepted or understood by them. And over the years, getting on in years and getting closer and closer to my 40th birthday, just having turned 38 and creeping ever closer to 40, I'm very much aware of the fact that this is really not going to change. Like, I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point that people's idea, the majority, in relation to the majority of the people, ideas of me, and I've said this before, their capacity to understand me isn't going to improve. My capacity to, even if I could, I'm not going to change to be more understood by them. And they're not going to change because they're fine with the way they are. If they don't understand me, it's not their problem, it's my problem. It's no skin off their back if they don't understand me or like me, So it's a situation where, and I've been told many times that, well, just change. I love that. Just change, even if a person could, the person shouldn't have to change. It's just a matter of finding like people, and I feel very fortunate to have done that here on YouTube to a certain extent. That the only, and I'm grateful for that, the only sad thing about it is the chance that any of us are ever going to actually meet or know each other in real life is very slim, which is kind of a tragic, side to the whole, YouTube friends situation. But I guess I'd rather have YouTube acquaintances or friends than no friends at all. But I don't know. I don't know what the point of this video was. I just get, I just know that the average people just don't understand me. I get the impression that they think I'm beneath them, when in fact, in my opinion, I am above them. But it doesn't really matter if I'm above them. And again, if I sound like a narcissistic asshole, I understand why you'd think that, because that's what I sound like. But I don't know. When you've basically been unliked or misunderstood your whole life, and with no hope in sight as far as it changing. I mean, there's no reason, I've said this before, I'm not going to wake up one day and all of a sudden have these people, all of a sudden understand me, or all of a sudden like me, To be so unlike the majority it's draining when you want. I keep recording the same videos over and over, but that's just part of my, I guess, therapy, the part of what I need to do, I guess, just, the stuff that probably is the most frustrating stuff in your life is probably the stuff you're going to make videos over and over and over and over about, and just have to vent about it over and over, the same stuff repeatedly, which I remember talking about all kinds of this stuff in videos past, but I don't want this to be the rest of my life. I don't want to be, and I think, and I'm fearful that it is. I mean, there's no reason why it's not going to be the rest of my life. This existence of waking up and just not seeing anyone every day and not ever having anything, not to say that there's nothing to look forward to. There's summer days alone to look forward to, and spring, swimming and kayaking all by myself. And I mean, when I'm out there on the river and the lakes and stuff kayaking, I mean, a lot of times there's this overwhelming desire. It's so beautiful to want to share it with someone, the experience, I mean, it's beautiful and it's great to be able to do it, but I'd like to share my interests and my passions with someone else who might be interested and passionate about the same stuff. It's torturous, whatever. It's torture. It can be to be in a state of just perpetual solitude, perpetual, and every time you try to connect with someone, it just doesn't work. And I ask myself, why the fuck this late in the game am I still trying? I don't know if it showcases my stupidity or my what the fuck it showcases, the fact that I still try this late in the game. When I say try, I mean try to make connections with people. So that's it. We're out of time. I'm just in a bad way right now, and if you haven't noticed, I appreciate all my viewers and subscribers very much, and you guys are the only people I really know, and I really, really, really appreciate you guys, so thank you very much.